Testing, 1, 2, 3. I like to eat seafood sometimes. One of my favorite hobbies is eating meat. Testing. Okay. I always end up going back to this knife. I do not have anything that I can attach to my table so that I could be hands-free because I like talking with my hands. Sue me. Actually, don't do that. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hippiearab Podcast, also known as Uncomfortable Truths, with your host, that's me. My name is Farah, also known as Farah, also known as Hippiearab, hence the name of the Hippiearab Podcast. And today, I'm not wasting time, although I do have to tell you, and this can be constituted as wasting time, today is really going to be like a rant video, if anything. You know, usually I like to be unbiased. I like to be impartial. I like to be connected with the science behind things, and I like to connect dots. Because I am a very unbiased person. Sort of. But today, no more of that, because I'm sick of being unbiased. Sort of. I'm not completely unbiased. Like, if you tell me, you know, what's the greatest religion, I'll be like, Islam, you know? So I'm not completely unbiased. But today, forgive me, I'm really just going to talk from my behind. And I'm going to do this for however long this takes. I have a couple of notes jotted down. This is not going to be a very organized video, but this has been on my mind. And so my mind will open up to the world. And so the world shall listen to what my mind has to say. So that was me wasting time at the beginning, so I don't do that later. What this podcast is me talking about everything from the Islamic perspective. And boy, do I have things to say about this topic. Okay, so to preface, Muslims do not do boyfriend-girlfriend type of stuff, you know, like non-Muslims do. I wouldn't say non-Muslims, I'd say non-religious people. No, actually, I take that back, because I don't see any people besides Muslims doing what we do. Like, we take it, like, actually sort of seriously, and we wait till marriage. Christians are like, screw that. Not all of them, but some of them. They're just like, screw that. I don't... That's a joke, you guys. I know some of you wait for marriage. I'm proud of you. We just don't do the girlfriend-boyfriend type of thing. And I purposefully say it with an accent because it's just funnier. So Muslims are known to not do the girlfriend-boyfriend thing. Nowadays, though, unfortunately, that has become a part of our culture. And I don't like saying that, except it's kind of undeniable. It's in your face 24/7 of Muslims posting on TikTok about their relationships. And I'm like, I love that you are exposing yourself. It's just, try not to be so obvious about it. Do you know what I mean? Like I do things. I know people that do things, but they don't go out to the world and say, listen, I do X, Y, and Z, actually. And here's what I have to say about it. It's like, you know, let's be a little bit shy. Well, that was my first take. I just don't think Muslims nowadays know how much haram relationships are affecting them. And it's like, they have to go through pain to realize, and some of them don't even realize. Some of them go through pain and then continue to go for it, continue to do what they do. And I'm not here to shame. No. I'm not here to judge. I judge inside. I don't judge outside. Like, my judgments are kept inside. And even then, I'm working on those judgments because I'm not supposed to judge from the inside. Anyway, but, you know, every single person has a struggle on this earth. And so, for some people, it really is relationships. But actually, that is not the topic of today. I didn't want to talk about haram relationships and stuff like that. Because me personally, Alhamdulillah. Not to sound like better than all of you. I need to word my things correctly. I just don't know too much about it, if I'm being honest. Have I dibbled and dabbled there, here and there? I said that wrong. Wait. Have I dibbled and dabbled here and there? Yeah. When I was 12, you know. But I gave up that life a long time ago because I was like, there's just so much more to do. And at that time, I discovered Hannah Montana. So, you know, you could say I was a little bit preoccupied with more important things in life, like memorizing all of her songs and the dance moves to all of the songs. Sue me. Sue me. I was a busy girl. Okay? Anyway, today I'm speaking mostly about single Muslims, not so much single non-Muslims, you know, because what separates us is that Muslims don't really actually have the option to date and have the scheme of girlfriend, boyfriend type of stuff. Whereas non-Muslims, some of them just choose not to even try in that arena. And honestly, I think they know something that we don't, because what is keeping us Muslims from dabbling in that arena is our fear of Allah. It's like the taqwa that we have. Like, we know that Allah is watching 24/7. I'm not going to play and mess around in that arena. Whereas non-Muslims, they just, I don't know, they look like busy with other stuff, which for me is admirable. Today's video is mainly directed at Muslims who choose to stay single for the sake of being halal. What's up, guys? It's nice to see you because I don't see a lot of you. So let's please stick together. It's people who choose to not fall into the haram relationship lifestyle. And I call it a lifestyle because some of you are making it like a lifestyle. It is your personality, and it is what constitutes your convos 24/7. And honestly, I will be the first to say that it's sickening. Not like that. It's not sickening. It's just like, there's other stuff in life, you know? But who am I to say that? Honestly, I'm just a girl in a prayer gown, you know? So, okay, this is not all of the Muslims who choose to stay single. Rather, this is at a select few. And I don't know how big this group is, but I know this group exists. And you know, I have something to say to these people in the group. Sorry, I'm just realizing that there's a mannequin that's fully naked right behind me. That's actually not fully naked. That's half naked, technically. Sorry, I got distracted because I was looking at... Anyway, the trap that I see some Muslims fall into is that they will refuse to be in a haram relationship, but they will start to romanticize and overly fantasize about their future spouse. They will attach so much significance and so much importance and so much value to that part of their life. So they're putting all of that trust, like, it's not even trust, they're putting all of that hope into the future. And they think that this, like, whatever this is going to offer them, this happiness, this contentment, this security, this is in the future. Right now, I only have a little bit, but when I get a spouse, I'm going to be X, Y, and Z. I'm going to be happier. I'm going to be more fulfilled. The list goes on. But I noticed that this thinking has actually pervaded some of the Muslims in the community. And when I say community, I'm talking about the social media community. Because how do we know most of each other? Because we're on social media. We're literally constantly on social media. I don't like to admit it, but we are. This type of thinking, I think what propagated it and what spread it even further is all thanks, and not all thanks, but I would say partially thanks, to the Muslim influencer couples. Hey y'all, what's up? No shade thrown at you, really. No shade. It's just, you know, like, you know, you don't know? Okay, I don't know how to put this into words. It's cringe. Sorry. If I could pick one word, that was the word. Sue me. Actually sue me. I'm happy for anyone that's actually in a fulfilling marriage and anything like that. Because that's really beautiful to see. I mean, marriage is a beautiful thing in Islam. It's like one of the things that, if done properly and if it's executed properly, it could add so much to your character, so much to your life. It could literally make new people. That's insane to think about. Sometimes I think about that. But marriage is really, it's a beautiful thing. But I don't know why this generation has made it like weird. Like they're making it cringy now. Every time I see it on my For You page, and it's not that often. The algorithm knows me very well. Although the algorithm does think I am a mother and that I have a baby, because it keeps showing me babies. But every time I see like a couple on my For You page, every month, because the algorithm is trying so hard with me, I'm like, that's amazing. If it's amazing, you don't really have to post it on social media, but it's amazing. Me personally, this is getting way off topic, but me personally, if I really had a marriage that I was super happy with, and then I feel like this is actually super fulfilling, I wouldn't dare tell people about it like that. Like, I'd be super scared to let people know about that. Not because, not because of like the evil eye, because, prayers and tawakkul ala Allah can keep you safe from that. But it's just like, why would I show my greatest things in life to people I don't really know? And social media is like filled to the brim with Muslim couples showcasing their everyday lives. I'm really not throwing shade at them. Some of them just really choose to live that lifestyle, and that's fine. But some of them, and I don't even know that many. I hear about them on my YouTube feed, because my YouTube feed is filled with dawah people, and they just constantly talk about them. But some of them are like stop. Like, you're making it seem like something it's not. And you're like almost tricking people into thinking that it's something that it's not, Like, what was marriage 1,400 years ago compared to now? Before, marriage was kind of like this political thing. Families building kinships with other families, to kind of serve a political agenda. It had a different aim. And I'm not saying back then it was better. I'm just saying, what has it become over time? And social media has not helped whatsoever in that. It's just wild to me how, because right now I'm reading about books of the Prophet ﷺ that talk about his marriages back then, that talk about how marriage was back then. And when I read about it and when I hear about it, I'm like, if they only saw what we had now. The fact that Muslim couples are so eager to put themselves on social media. It's like, but why? I don't get that. And some people really eat it up. That's the thing that drives me insane. I don't really care about you posting stuff. I care about what's that word? Repercussions. The word is repercussions. I care about the repercussions of your actions, the consequences of your actions, because you are not here alone. You are here and you have people around you. And then add social media to that, add a following to that, add people going on social media every day and watching what you post, then how bigger of a repercussion do you think your posts, your actions, and your words have on people? I think about that all the time, and while it may not look like it, like, I actually think about the things that I put out, because I think about how is this going to affect people. I would never intentionally post something that would make another person feel bad about themselves or feel like they're missing out on something. The missing out part, I don't understand. Some people intentionally put things out to make it seem like they have something that other people don't have. And I don't understand that, but there exist people like that. And so it's just a matter of actually understanding that your actions have repercussions. And okay, you could say, I have nothing to do with the feelings of people based on my actions, because they're in control of their own feelings and how they choose to respond to what I do. Fair. That's a fair argument. But that's a very self-centered argument. That's a very Western-like mindset that, it's so individualistic. It's so me. It's just me and it's them. In Islam, there's no me and them. It's us. Yes, we work on the individual level, but we also work on the society level. We serve our community. We think about other people. We help other people. We do the best that we can to not put other people down, to not let them down, and that's not to win their favor in any way. That's not to seek their validation in any way. It's to build a stronger Muslim community. It's to care about one another. And I don't know what happened to that, because nowadays I feel like Muslims are just posting whatever they're posting, and it doesn't even matter. I don't know. Like, for example, let me use an example, and this is something that I hold really close. I hold really serious in my heart, but I feel like the most people I see, not so much. And it's the idea or the example of putting music in your video. It's like, if you're listening to music, listen to music alone. But don't put it for other Muslims to consume. I think I'm coming from the idea of, I don't know if Muslims care for each other anymore. And you can see the effect of that on the Muslim community. Now, I'm not here stating that this is all that's happening, that this is all that's going on. Like, we're terrible and stuff. Like, there's so much to appreciate. And I really believe that. I mean, like, look at the protests that Muslims organized for Palestine and soon, inshallah, Lebanon. Like, people really, when they come together, it's an amazing and incredible thing to see. And I realize I'm a little bit off topic from, the main topic of today, but this is something that I just wanted to shed light on, the concept of community. And not making other Muslims feel some type of FOMO through the things that you say. And it's not even just FOMO, it's just like negative feelings, like what you say actually has consequences, And yeah, while other people do have control of their feelings, at the same time, you have control of what you say too. And if you have this feeling that what you say is going to do some form of harm and not saying it would be better, then don't say it. I didn't even write this in my notes, by the way, because I jotted down notes. This was not one of them. But apparently I rambled on. I did say this was going to be a rant. And ranted I did. Ranting. Anyway. Okay. Then I wanted to talk about something else. So this generation, for some reason, has been fawning over a hadith that some have gone out of their way to make it their entire personalities. Okay. And basically a hadith is a saying of the Prophet ﷺ, and its importance comes right after the Quran. And there are grades in terms of its accuracy. There is sahih, which is sound, hasan, which is good, and da'if, which is weak. And there are more to constitute the grade of the hadith, but those are the main ones that I want to get across. And the hadith that I'm talking about, okay, is the hadith that talks about, I need a woman to complete half of my deen. Sorry, that was my really visceral and honest reaction to the whole thing. Yeah, so that's a hadith that's been circulating the internet recently, and for a long time, some F-boys have gone out of their way to make TikToks saying, hey, who's gonna complete half of my deen? And now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm wishing that I hadn't said that out loud, but that is the reality of today. Now, guess what? The hadith that talks about a woman completing half the deen of a man is actually hasan. It's good. And what separates the sahih hadith from the hasan hadith is the accuracy by which people remember the hadith, because it's a chain of narration, and some people are blessed with good memory. Some people aren't. Some people are just trying to get by. apart from that, I don't think people understand the real meaning of the hadith. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know. Except I do look like I'm doing that. But it's not that I know, it's that you just have to like read it and sit with it for 5 minutes to get a little bit closer to the meaning behind the hadith. And the meaning is that marriage in and of itself, the institution, is not going to complete half of your deen. It's like you get married, that's it, half of your deen is complete. Alhamdulillah, now I get a free ticket to Jannah. It's been a good ride, I've had a good time here. Unfortunately, but also fortunately, that's not how that works. It's a means to be a better Muslim and for you to have a spouse that facilitates you being a better Muslim by fulfilling your duties and obligations as a Muslim, man or woman. And this is like known, that we have duties. Sorry, I'm a full-fledged adult, I swear to God. Sometimes words get the best of me. But what I'm trying to say is like, you're just trying to live a fuller life. And marriage is just one of the ways to facilitate that. Now, it doesn't mean that if you don't get married, that's it. You're screwed over. You're done for. You're going to be fine, okay? In fact, there's a lot of there's a lot of scholars that want their lives without getting married. And I'm not saying that these people are the best of the best. I'm saying that these people are examples of leading non-conventional lives, and they did okay. In fact, they did more than okay. One of them is Imam al-Nawawi, and I'm not going to sit here again and act like I know everything about this guy. He was so focused on attaining knowledge that he didn't want any distraction. Marriage being one of them, a spouse being one of them. Like, imagine the mindset behind that. Dude, look, I kind of want to be like that, but. Sorry, I just said but way too many times. I swear to God, I'm an adult. You just have to take my word for it. It's okay for people to lead different lives. And I see a lot of people, I'd say Muslims, because there is no girlfriend, boyfriend. There's like no experimentation in the matter. It's just like married or not married. That's pretty much it, Obviously, there are several steps to be taken to see if there is compatibility in the equation, because like non-Muslims get so surprised when they see our concept of marriage and our institution of marriage. Guys, we're doing fine, okay? Our marriage success rates are through the roof, sort of. Just not from previous civilizations and generations. That's not the debate today, but, what was I talking about? Oh, okay. So Muslims really have this scarcity mindset of, am I ever going to find anyone? Or is anyone ever going to find me? And dude, they could be doing so many other things. Like they could go outside, sit on the grass and touch the grass. They choose to sit in their room and think about these things and have thoughts about these things. I'm not going to say that's particularly because of them that they're thinking this way. Instead, there's also external pressures that play on them. And, the concept of marriage in Arab culture, by the way, is like it's not even an institution. It's a religion in and of itself. Like there's Islam, that's great. And then there's this other religion called marriage. It's like, you guys know that marriage is a part of Islam. It's like not the whole thing. Like, because there are some aunties that are forming committees that are dedicating their lives to this marriage work. And honestly, bless them, because some people wouldn't be married if not for them. And hopefully those marriages are going fine. But, there's other stuff to do. Have you guys ever tried basketball? It's really fun, especially like trying to aim for the hoop and stuff. It's interesting. Computer science is also something really cool. You should look into that. I don't know, I'm just saying. Books. I like books. You can see a book on my nightstand. I have not read a single word from that book. But I'm saying There are other things, but some people, some cultures, I'd say, some communities really make that the center thing, and that's the only thing, and that's the most important thing. And if you don't have that thing, good luck and goodbye. And you are excommunicated, actually. Yeah, such a nice, loving community. I don't like how we're treating this whole marriage thing. Like, if you don't get married before this specific age, you're done for. Okay, I didn't know you were the police of ages and marriages and stuff. That's fantastic. What's your source? What's your source? Khadija got married to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in her 40s, and she thrived. Okay, good conversation. That's actually not a wrap. I still have way more to say. We love the topic of social media. Now we're going to come a little bit back to social media. But just for one specific instance that caught my eye that I still think about sometimes, especially before I sleep. Don't ask me why. That's weird. I shouldn't have said that. So last Ramadan, I got this new thing on my For You page, coming in and out of my For You page. And it was about these Muslims talking about a Umar Sulaiman episode. And all of them were talking about it. Everyone was talking about it. And I'm like, wow, what is this episode that has people in a trance? Must have been so profound. So I went on YouTube and I watched it for myself. And I was eager. I think I even made popcorn. It was exciting because I love seeing things that are profound. What did he say that took people aback? I will tell you. He said that love is a form of rizq. That's it. Sorry, Umar Salman, I have so much respect for you. You are amazing. I actually look up to you. Insane stuff. Do you guys know how much I go on the Yaqeen Institute website and I actually take information from there? I should not have said it that way, but yeah, I do that all the time. Oh, I'm getting comfortable. I do that all the time. It's kind of like stating the obvious. It's like water is wet. I get apples from an apple tree. Crazy. I thought apples grew from the ground. Yeah, they actually come from trees. Just like everything, comes from Allah. So why were people, surprised when they heard that? Because I saw one girl crying. Maybe that girl just has a different journey. I don't know. But I saw people in tears from this statement that love is a form of rizq, and Allah gives it to some people, but not to others. It's like, guys, everything is a form of rizq. Your beating heart, the fact that your brain works, the fact that you can see, your eyes, your eyesight, your vision is rizq. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Because everything goes back to Allah. Why were people so surprised by that? I was taken aback, honestly. I felt dumbfounded, if anything. Because I'm like, guys, this is literally the essence of Islam. This is the essence of Tawheed. This is the essence of everything in existence, is that it came from Allah. And oh my God, sorry. Did I say sorry? Guys, I'm not Canadian. Oh my God. How's the anthem? I don't know. That's not important. I'm not Canadian. Even if I was, I'd forget the anthem. God. Canada. Trudeau. Pfft. Peterson. Ugh. Anyway. God, why am I getting so distracted today? When people were so completely taken aback from the statement that love is a form of rizq, and people were actually surprised by that, that's when my faith in people hit an all-time low. I was like, if people do not know this information, I don't know what's about to come. Honestly, Dajjal might come tomorrow at this point. I don't even know. I'm just trying to memorize the first 10 lines of Surah Al-Kahf. Do you know what I mean? Also, did you guys watch my Surah Al-Kahf episodes? They're not performing too well. But I love them. They're my favorite. That's not important. Sorry, I'm really ranting from all aspects today. If you didn't watch my Surah Al-Kahf episode, go watch it, because it's amazing. Okay, I need to like lower my ego. It's fine. It gets the job done. But it's one of my most important videos. So, yeah. I'm the worst in marketing. I have been told, so it's okay. Anyway, guys, now let me give you a mini story time because this episode would be kind of bland if I didn't share a personal experience. Okay, here it goes. So, I was working at a place and there was this. Oh my god, I'm going to expose myself in so many ways, especially if the guy watches. Okay, so I was working at this place that had this guy that I saw literally every day. And then I was like, you know what? Yes. Yeah, I said that. It was inside my head though. Otherwise, that would have been really creepy. But yeah, I was like, you know what? I think this would be a nice addition to my life. Yeah. So I pulled a Khadija move. And if you don't know what a Khadija move is, it's basically like you making the move, but it was the halal move. It was like, hey, I think this is interesting. Let's see where this goes. No, not like that. It was more like, I am interested. Are you interested? Yes, no, marriage, no. Kind of like that, because I don't do dating. Alhamdulillah. I would never. No, I don't say stuff like that. I say, Alhamdulillah الذي عافانا مما ابتلاهم به وفضلني على كثيرا ممن خلق تفضيلا. That's what I say. But anyway, so yeah, so I texted the guy. And I was like I was expecting a yes. I was like, definitely, I could bag anyone I want. The next day, the next day I got rejected. Was it a humbling experience? It was definitely one of my most humbling experiences. Now I laugh because it's funny. But I'm also grateful because now I'm realizing there was literally no compatibility in the whole spiel of the deal. So alhamdulillah, that's kind of like God's protection, But, this whole, get it if you can, and if you don't, be grateful that you didn't get it. I will shoot my shot. And if Allah says, no, that wasn't the one, I will gladly stay away from it. And I say gladly because every day I'm realizing how bad that would have turned out if it actually were to turn out in any way. So that was my personal experience. As a girl who doesn't date, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say it's brutal out here. I'd say it's just very honest out here, And I think the Khadija move is the best. Sorry. I think the Khadija move is the best move anyone could do. Well, not anyone, but I'd say women. That women can do, Because it's like, I'm an ambitious woman. If I see something that would be a nice addition to my life, I'm gonna go get it. But if that thing says no, I will say ma'a salama, but also goodbye. It's kind of like that energy. Because I'm not losing anything. As long as I'm attached to Allah, that's all that matters, But connecting and attaching myself to other things, that's when things start to get a little iffy. But that's what relationships do. It's that some people are attaching themselves to other people. It's like, what love story are you trying to make? And now I'm going to get into a deep thing because I was thinking about this. What is the greatest love story to ever exist? And it's easy to think of the human love stories like Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam and Aisha, which was so beautiful. Or even with Khadija. But the greatest relationship and the greatest love story to ever exist is you and Allah. It was always you and Allah. And if anything else came, that's just Allah's favors and blessings upon you. And if it left, it's fine. But it's just you and Allah. So all the time that you thought about your future relationships, your future potential spouse, what your life could look like in the next 5 or 10 years. What if you spent all of that time with Allah? Talking with Allah. Reading Allah's words in the Quran. Learning about Allah's best creation, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When you discover that world and you realize that it was waiting for you all along, you really don't care for anything else. You don't care about anything that may come or go. Even, when I talked about the Muslim influencers at the beginning, being in the state that I'm in, alhamdulillah, whenever I see that, I see it for what it is and nothing more. There's no sense of FOMO at all. In fact, if anything, I'm so grateful to be where I am, because I have so much to do. I feel inside that Allah is literally telling me all of the things that I have to do, and I have to do them. And so that puts you in a state of focus like nothing else, and you don't have time to think about other things. You don't have time to think about how your future may look like, because you're busy building your future right now, right here. That's what happens when you connect yourself to Allah. And so some people have thoughts of, oh, I'm this age and I still didn't get married. What am I going to do? How is your relationship with Allah? Nothing else matters. Yesterday, my mom told me about my brother's friend. She said, remember the guy that came one time in Ramadan and brought chocolates with him? And I was like, yeah, I remember him. I didn't see him, but yeah, I remember the chocolates that he brought. They were so delicious. And then I was like, I hope this is not a marriage proposal, because lately I've been getting one too many of those. And it's just not my cup of tea. My mom said he passed away. He was 24. And it was a sudden passing. I didn't even know the guy. I didn't even know his name. I don't know how he looked like. All I know was that he came one time in Ramadan. And he brought us really good chocolates. So when my mom said that, I thought of my brother and the conversations that we have and stuff like that. And my brother always talks about, one day I'm going to marry so and so and so. He just talks about marriage all the time, but in a funny way. And I just think about his friend. His name was Abdus Salam. I think about his friend, and I think about what goals did his friend have. He was probably thinking about marriage the way that we think about marriage. He was 24. He probably had ideas of what his future would look like and stuff like that. Now, I don't want to get too sad, because literally people in Palestine die every day. And so why am I not crying for them like I did for him? And his is just so interesting because of how sudden it was. And I heard the news yesterday. And, that's literally it. Nothing else matters. I thought to myself, how is his connection with Allah? That's the only thing that was racing through my brain. Because nothing else mattered. Nothing else. He was 24. And people pass away every day. It's just when you feel like death is really closer than you think, it's like a wake-up call, I don't know. I actually wanted to open the video with that news, and I forgot about it, and subhanAllah, now I'm remembering. And so now I'm talking about it. Allah yarhamu, Allah yaghfir, and I ask that you guys pray for him as well. His name is Abdus Salam. Allah yarhamu, Allah yaghfir lahu. So I think that's a good place to end it. There are more important things to think about. I didn't want to use that example, and I wasn't planning on it. And I never know what to say besides the fact that there are more important things to think about. But I think what happened, the news that my mom told me about yesterday, perfectly demonstrates that without saying anything. It's the fact that this man of 24 years old had plans, but Allah had other plans. Because Allah is in charge of all affairs. So it's better to connect yourself with Allah than anything else, because Allah is in charge of everything. And that's that. I hope you guys didn't cry like me. That's embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. It just means you guys have a good heart. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next episode. And I hope this was helpful in any way. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.